Hello and welcome to a new Allegro Packets Network Multimeter webcast. Today I would like to present you the Wi-Fi feature of the upcoming 4.0 release for the Allegro Network Multimeter. My name is Klaus Degner and I'm Managing Director of Allegro Packets. What does Wi-Fi support mean for the Allegro? The Wi-Fi support means that the Allegro is now capable of capturing packets not only on Ethernet cables but also in the air. This allows very easy troubleshooting for Wi-Fi only setups. For example, if you have a router and a Wi-Fi output but no Ethernet cable at all. So this is available for all Allegros starting from the 200 up to the 5500. With the initial release, we support up to 16 USB adapters, and each is capable of doing all three frequencies, so 2.4, 5 and 6 GHz. The standards that are supported are all major current standards up to Wi-Fi 6 and 6E with the 6 GHz support. From channel bandwidth, we support 40 MHz for 2.4 and up to 80 MHz channel width for 6 GHz and 5 GHz. With this initial feature set and release, we have implemented 4 main features. Number 1 is a channel scanner, so that you see what is available on a frequency, plus what is the strength, what is the raw sent data from the access point, to debug what is the access point capable and what not. The second thing we have developed, of course, is the packet capture feature of the Allegro, that you can do all the capturing you know from the wired part, also for the Wi-Fi part now. The next thing is real-time statistics. So we started to build the first modules for real-time statistics, for channels, for base set services, and for the endpoints. And the last but not least feature is we have real-time decoding for WPA pre-shared key setups. We have a lot more features planned for release 4.1, so this is just the initial setup. One small thing before I come to a live demo: how does pre-shared key decoding works? It is supported in the Allegro, and almost all of our devices have hardware decoding support and can decode the pre-shared key algorithms very efficiently, so with at least 800 megabits per second. Only the 200 is limited by 100 megabit per second because there's no hardware support for it. So let me switch now to a live demo, and here what we can see here right now is the dashboard of an Allegro 500, and what is important here now, that we have connected no Wi-Fi cable, but no Ethernet cable, but we have 2 Wi-Fi interfaces connected to the Allegro. So we can see it here. You have to configure the country to get the channel list. So in this case we have up to 6.4 gigahertz channels, and of course I can just scan the network, and then I get an overview of what access points are available. So here you see a lot of access points, also a lot with very low signal strength, so it's sorted. And now you can debug and see things like what is the, for example on our Allegro guest, what is all the parameters which are coming from the access point, what it supports. Once this is set up and the Wi-Fi monitoring is enabled, you can see in the dashboard the Wi-Fi interfaces. Right now I have 2, and of course now I can run the PCAP feature and, for example, just show a few packets that have been sent just directly in the WebShark view. What I can show you here is that I have set up this as a with pre-shared key. I have configured the pre-shared key in the Wi-Fi decryption, where you can add multiple SSIDs with the key. And once this is done, I have seen the handshake of the access point with the client, we can decode the traffic. And the 210 here is, for example, my IP address. So what happens if I, for example, start now here in the background an iPerf in the network? You can see that I'm running an iPerf with roughly 230, 240 megabit per second. And we are recording now this iPerf run. And of course, now we could, for example, mark this, look into it, which IP address did what, go to the IP statistics view and see what happened there with which IP address. So I did an iPerf to the Allegro. And so all the debugging is then available with this feature. Coming to the modules, the Wi-Fi module has the channel statistics, where you can see what is the used bandwidth per channel. So what we can see here is that, for example, on that channel, my iPerf used almost everything on channel 48. And now we can, of course, look deeper into it and see all the base set services IDs and who did what on which base set service. So we can, for example, see now here one subscriber and then can look into it, what was the signal level, what was the quality of service frames and bytes transmitted by that client. And of course, if you have multiple access points, you can see a base set service switching the channels, so jumping between frequencies, and this is something we are expand in the next releases. The third statistics right now is also still limited, is the client statistics. So whenever you have an access point in the network, you have clients which are Wi-Fi clients, but you also have wired clients. So for example, a server. And with that view, you can see which client, so which MAC address takes the traffic in the Wi-Fi, which is a different view because it's all clients in the local network and not only the clients on the Wi-Fi. And this is also something we will enhance with the next release. So very important is we will support up to 16 access Wi-Fi adapters, and every Allegro customer can, with existing support, can have one Wi-Fi adapter with the release, and we will tell you more in the release notes. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I wish you a lot of fun with it.